Awesome. Well, thank you so much. My name is Sammy. I'm one of the trainers here who helps work and take care of these killer whales here. We have 5 killer whales we call SeaWorld home. You may or may not heard about today. But I'd like to welcome everyone up here in our upstairs overlook area and down below in underwater viewing. It looks like our trainers are getting started with some fun stuff today. So you may or may not have been here for some previous sessions. We talk about all sorts of things that we do with our killer whales, and that includes something we call enrichment. So enrichment is something you might also hear EED, which means environmental enrichment device. These are things that we can offer to our whales that they can play with or enjoy. So it's actually part of forming that relationship with our animals, is figuring out what they like and don't like. Okay, so it looks like they're getting started. They're going to tap the surface of the water. That's Justin right there. Use what we call a target pull. This is a great way that we can communicate to our animals. You just basically ask them, hey, could you come over here? We're going to start a session. And if they say yes, we'd like to start a session, they'll come right over to us. Now, you might not be able to see it just yet, but our trainers are preparing a really cool killer whale-sized toy for our 3 females here. We have Katina, Belani, and Malia joining us over here on my right. Now we're going to be filling that. We call this a killer whale pinata. And you can kind of guess what's happening here. We're putting some fun stuff inside. Some ice, some fish, and maybe even some Jell-O. All right. And now they have to work together to get those goodies out. So you might be thinking, Jell-O, that's interesting. We actually do offer a lot of our animals here sugarless and flavorless Jell-O. It's just another thing that gives them the option to play with. And these animals are very tactile, which means they really do seem to like different sensations on their skin. Something really cool about killer whales is that they slip off their skin a lot faster than you and I do at a very rapid rate, and that's why you'll see them rubbing up on each other or on their environment or their killer whale-sized toys. So our 3 lovely ladies are working together right now to get those goodies out. Underwater viewing's probably getting a really nice view down below. Now these animals can also utilize suction, so you see that they're pushing that ball around to try to get those goodies out, but they can also utilize suction to try to get them out of that little ball. And killer whales out there in the wild will use suction, especially when they're catching fish. All right, you see that Jell-O right there? Yeah, you got it. So this is one of many things that we can offer to our animals. It's not just fish at the end of the day. Our animals here do eat a diet of capelin, salmon, and herring. We can offer them all sorts of different things, including these really fun killer whale-sized toys. It's one of the more fun sessions, and probably my favorite sessions to watch is our play sessions like this right here. Ooh, check that out, a little headstand. Very nice. Now right here we have our 3 females. For those of you just joining us, Katina is our oldest at 48 years old. We also have Belani, who's 17 years old, and Malia at 16. Now, if you're trying to identify these ladies right here, Katina's just a little bit larger than our younger female. She is fully grown at age 48. Right here next to me, actually, is our killer whale size scale. We'll actually weigh our whales on a weekly basis to see exactly how much they weigh and see if we need to give them a little more, or for Katina, maybe a little bit less fish. So it's really important for their fitness that we're maintaining those weights. But if you take a look for Malia, she has very pointed eye patches right there in the front. So when they do surface there for a breath, do see if you can pull apart our animals. Now Alani, our 17-year-old, on the right side, her bright white eye patch is very streaky, almost like she has eyelashes. And that's a really good way to tell that that's Nalani. All right, our trainers are going to call the whales back. If they're ready to let the toy go, they'll come, but sometimes they're, hey, I'm not quite ready yet. I still got to get all the fun stuff inside, but it looks like our ladies are bringing it back to us, which is awesome. It's a behavior that we train, but at the end of the day, it's up to them if they want to give it back. Now, it's a very big ball full of water. If you know about water, it is very heavy. So our whales are going to try and help our trainers here to get it out, but it can be a little challenging because it's a lot heavier than you think it is. Very good, ladies. We say thank you so much for giving that toy back. And now we'll reward them with some fish. So fish is another way that we can say thank you so much to our whales. We utilize positive reinforcement and operant conditioning here at SeaWorld Orlando. And what that basically means is we bring a lot of positive attention to the behaviors that we like to see. So those 3 lovely ladies brought up that toy very nicely to us. And we're going to say thank you so much with a bunch of fish. All right. Now we got Katina coming around here. This is our matriarch, a very special whale. Killer whales live in a matriarchal society, which means girls rule, boys drool. It doesn't matter, oh yeah, it doesn't matter how big or strong you are. As a male killer whale, there's always going to be a female who is dominant over you. And our dominant female here is Katina. She's around 6,000 pounds. She's giving you guys a wave right there on the perimeter. Feel free to wave on back. These animals do have incredible eyesight, both above and below that surface. Take a look at her beautiful face and some of her dance moves. Oh yeah. All right. Now you can also take a look right here with Nalani. Singing you some beautiful songs. Do you guys know where those sounds are coming from? I'm giving you a hint. The blowhole, absolutely. Katina. She's being a silly girl over there. Oh! What do you guys think of a motorboat impression? Pretty good? Yeah? Yeah? Alright, Nalani's giving you guys a killer whale size wave right here in the center. Feel free to move on back, she can see you. Oh, nice. Very good. Showing off her pectoral flippers on either side of her body. So these animals do have 5 bony digits in those pectoral flippers, just like the human hand. They're just a lot more whale size, a lot bigger, which is pretty cool. These animals long ago actually did evolve from land mammals, which probably explains those 5 bony digits, similar to what we have. And Malia's going to give you guys a fluke wave over on my right. So get ready right there. Check out those tail flukes. Very nice. Something really cool about the tail flukes here, we can get voluntary blood samples from them, but what's even cooler is on the white underside, you can actually see their veins. So it's really easy to get that blood draw. But it's even easier when you train it. So our animals are trained to go ventral for all sorts of different healthcare samples, whether they be blood samples, urine samples, fecal samples, etc. And it looks like Justin's playing some games with Malia over here on the right. This is also how we can build our relationship with our whales. And just like you and I, our whales all have personalities and different likes and dislikes. So part of being their trainer is figuring out what they like and what they don't like so much. And that's how we can start to make that connection. Alright, check out Nalani here in the slide out area right in front of Nick. Check out those eye patches I was talking about. Just going to show off her beautiful tail flukes and that black and white coloration we call counter shading. So this is how these animals will blend in with that environment. That dark coloration on the top will help them blend in with that dark ocean, especially at night. These animals will disappear even in this nice bright environment. Now if you're to be down below on a sunny day, those flashy white bellies are also supposed to camouflage when you're down below. Especially when they're swimming together, similarly to how zebras, they do the same thing with disruptive coloration. Those big herds of black and white stripes are going to disrupt those predators from getting them. But for killer whales, they are the apex predator of the ocean. So there is no natural predators for those killer whales out there. So they don't have to worry about that so much, but they're called killer whales for a reason because of their amazing hunting abilities. And a part of that ability to hunt is to be able to blend in with your environment. So evolution over time has helped these animals being such efficient hunters, and with that camouflage we call counter shading. You also might notice a saddle patch right behind that dorsal fin is that silvery gray, really pretty right there. Check it out in the slide out. This is one way that researchers will actually identify whales out there in the wild, and it's another way we can also identify our whales. Every trainer will tell you something a little bit different, but I always tell guests, look at their eye patches, because that's a really great way to decipher everybody here. Yeah, Morgan's giving them a nice rub down over there. This is another great way to help strengthen our relationship. So I would call this a relate and play session. You might have seen an exercise session or a husbandry session earlier today. But this is a really nice session just to help us build that really strong relationship with our animals. Now Malia's going to try another pec slap right here. Wow. You guys hear that? We're going to try it again. Nice. Killer whales actually pick out there in the wild. Sound travels 4 times faster, and it's one way they can announce themselves to other whales and also stun their prey on the surface. Killer whales around the world have different hunting techniques depending on what their matriarch taught them. But our killer whales here are our fish eaters, getting that piglet, salmon, and herring we talked about. But something really cool, these animals actually don't need any additional hydration. They get all the hydration from the food that they eat. However, because we can train these behaviors, we've actually trained our animals to drink water as well, because why not? Just like you may have seen us flushing their teeth earlier today, there are no dentists out there in the wild, absolutely not. However, if we can have preventative medicine, why wouldn't we? So we train all of these healthier behaviors with our animals. Then we say thank you so much with all these really nice play and relate sessions. Now check out Malia and Justin doing some mimicry. So these animals are incredibly intelligent. They know to mimic our body parts with theirs. And he just spun in a circle and Malia did an amazing job following him. Then you might also notice that target pull I was talking about. Take a look. She did an amazing job there. So that's one of the first behaviors we train is for them to follow that pole on that buoy, right on their rostrum, which is the pointy part of their nose. And she's doing a great job. Now, if you can see Justin there with that target pole, if we can get these animals to follow that buoy, nice killer whale away from Nalani in the center, if we can get them to follow that buoy, we can ask for all sorts of different things. You saw us tap the water. That just says, hey, could you come over here? We might start a session. Ooh, check this out. It's like a magic wand. Very nice. So you see how she follows that buoy right there? And that's what Justin was looking for. So he blew his whistle that you guys are going to hear throughout today. That says, perfect, thank you so much, Malia. Here's something really fun, whether it is a back massage, or a back scratch, or some fish, some ice, or a killer whale sized toy. It depends on what these animals like. We also actually have a behavior here where we actually teach the animals or ask them, where would you like us to give you a little scratch or a rub down? And they'll offer different parts of their bodies depending on what they like. They got Nick and Morgan giving their whales a nice rub down here. Really a special relate session. Say thank you so much. You guys are just perfect. And Justin's going to use the target bowl to give her a nice rub down too. We use those target bowls for all sorts of different things. You might have seen them earlier today for an exercise session. We'll tap the water just like this and the animal will follow. You'll see that beautiful behavior we call a bow. Kind of looks like a porpoise. But you can imagine the behaviors that we can train with these training techniques.
How are ya? How are ya?
Now Katina here, as our matriarch, I did mention she is a very special whale. She actually was the reason we actually know the gestation period of a pregnant killer whale. So that is 17 months on average, which is a long time to carry that baby. So Katina actually did give birth to the first little baby Shamu. She's had 7 calves in her lifetime, and thanks to her, we've done an incredible amount of reproductive research for killer whales out there in the wild. We were able to get voluntary milk samples from her and send those to researchers, as well as a variety of different samples, to help decipher what goes on out there in the wild, especially as part of their reproduction, which was a mystery for a very long time. So thanks to Katina, we now know that it's 17 months. And it looks like our trainers are wrapping up our relate session today. We hope you guys enjoyed sharing what it's like to kind of build a relationship with a killer whale here, giving you an inside look at what we do. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day at SeaWorld.